I'm forgetting how to do this. There's a bunch of buttons and things I gotta press, and there's a thing and stuff. And hey there, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
There it goes. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is December 7th, 2023. We're going to write a little bit of code today. How you doing there, chat room? I see a couple folks there. I'm starting a little bit late here for my normal Thursday. But let's take a peek over there. That wasn't the transition we're supposed to use. Like, not going to lie. It was the wrong transition.
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Now you know. How you doing there, friends? It is good to be back. It's good to be hanging out and having a little bit of fun here together. Yeah, my move transitions are all gone. What? Why did my move transitions disappear? I don't know. And I'm not even seeing. Smap!
Smabook just resubscribed for 55 months.
55 months with us, my goodness. And I'll make another donation to the American Cancer Society. Thank you so much for that support. Yeah, let me take a look. Let me welcome in everybody here. My goodness. Chris Jones is here. Predator Coder, hello. Billy Cool, good to see you. Chaotic Monkey is here. Yeah, and Smab. And we are broadcasting on both YouTube and Twitch. If you're over there watching on YouTube, hello there, folks. You're watching on the big screen TV. Really appreciate you joining us. I spent this week, I was out at the Dev Intersection Conference in sunny Orlando, Florida, and it seems like I left right before it turned cold there because I'm getting reports from friends. Yesterday got a little bit colder. It dipped under 70 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what, 12, 13 degrees for those of you in Celsius. It's under 60 today. It's even colder. And for Florida, that is not welcome weather. So folks are still having a good time at the event. It is really good. Copper Beardy, hello to you in Wales. Hope you're doing well. How's it going? Disappointed to see our friends on the Wrexham football squad taking a loss Tuesday night, but that was in cup play that they weren't too aggressively pursuing. So I'm okay with that. So a bunch of folks at Dev Intersection, a number of folks that were viewers, a number of folks. Great to connect to other speakers, other streamers. There were a handful of other streamers there, and including our friend Fierce Kittens. I got a picture with her that we shared over on Instagram for the gunner folks. There it is right there. And yeah, right, like come on, we had to do that one, right? Like we have the two Warcraft pairs of glasses there.
Warm Peace just resubscribed for 11 months. Woo.
How you doing there, Warm Peace? 11 months with us, and I'll make another donation to the American Cancer Society. Yeah, we had to do this one. And there's these swan statues, swan fountain. I always say they look like they were made out of butter. It's weird, but it's true. The texture on them looks like, and the yellow light on them makes it look like they were made out of butter, and they're melting. So yeah, we got a picture together there with the Fierce Kittens. She's a real person, not just somebody who lives in a Twitch box or a YouTube stream. No. She was there speaking and doing a great job at Dev Intersection. She was part of a panel discussion we had during one of the keynotes at the event. Great time. If you have a chance to get to the event, to see Fierce Kittens present in person, it was a lot of fun. So that was happening this week, and happy to share some of that with you out there. So, before we go diving into our regularly scheduled C# shenanigans, I'll tell you that I had 2 workshops that I taught this week. I taught one on Blazor. So we covered Blazor with .NET 8. We covered all the things that were happening. Yeah, that was the point. It was it was that type of competition kind of. We were trying to imitate the World of Warcraft box there. How you doing there? Orthodox Forever on YouTube. Hello, welcome. For some reason, the bot didn't copy that message across into Twitch. So yeah, Sinfire. That was kind of the point. We wanted to imitate that, where she's wearing the Warcraft Alliance gunner glasses, and I was wearing the Horde gunner glasses. So I taught the what's it called? I taught the Blazor workshop. I taught a .NET MAUI workshop with our friend and .NET MAUI program manager Maddie Montequilla, and yeah, it was very cool to get into those. And then I taught 3 sessions. Oh, Blessai, thank you.
Book, I just resubscribed for 18 months.
Hello. Thank you so much. 18 months with us, and I'll make another donation to the American Cancer Society. Gunny, let me pin your message. I'll get back to that in just a second. So I taught sessions all about Blazor with .NET 8, Blazor building components for Blazor, and Maddie and I also taught a session about Blazor Hybrid. So we set up, and I had the beginnings of TagZap migrated to Blazor. I had the beginnings of it configured and running, and then we grabbed those pieces and we migrated and placed them into a Blazor Hybrid application. I have that code saved. We'll be looking at that this month as we do some Blazor migration. We start talking about what it means to have a mobile application that runs for TagZap. Happy Thursday to you, Blessai. How you doing? Yeah, we had a pretty good week, and I have a couple meetings this afternoon, so I'm not going to be able to run too long here today, but we'll have some fun writing some code, and I will be back. I'm going to be streaming most weekdays for the next few weeks, as except for, of course, around the holidays, the actual holidays themselves. But we'll be having a good time streaming most of the days here, leading through the end of the year. So let me get some music playing here in the background, then I'll get to that question that we had over there. I'm gonna go with the Stream Beats Synthwave playlist, and I'm gonna scroll somewhere down here to get started. Yeah, let's go with this. This is Phantom Hit. This is music that's DMCA free, royalty free. Use it wherever you'd like, except for on YouTube, where there's a troll that will copyright claim the music no matter what. Check it out at streambeats.com. Big thanks to Harris Heller and his team of creators for putting this music together. We're going to listen to in the background today. Yeah, there we go. So let me go to that question from Gunny. And put that up. Let's go featured chat. What's going on here? And it didn't update in our user interface. It's going to be one of these days, huh? There we go. How's things? Have I managed to play with .NET Aspire yet? Oh yes, I have been tinkering with .NET Aspire, and that's on our agenda for the month of December. We're going to lift TagZap, the application that we built using Razor Pages, and we are going to Aspirify. I think that's a thing. We're going to make it run in Aspire. We're going to get it working with We're going to migrate it to Blazor, set up so that it has a nice distributed configuration, put it into the Aspire app hosting format, and set up for delivery, distribution, running that from containers in the cloud. There's a couple things there that need to grow a little bit before we can fully embrace Aspire for the application, but we've spent some time with it. I have a talk that I'm giving next week at the Philly.net user group meetup, and I'll be talking about Aspire as part of that event. So, oh yeah, very interested in Aspire. So for those of you that don't know, Aspire is the new distributed application cloud native configuration and distribution framework that is built by the .NET team. Fickop.
F1CHK0PP cheer 60.
Thank you so much for that cheer, and I'll make another donation to the American Cancer Society. Check it out. There are 3 updated emotes for both followers and subscribers on Twitch. You'll find updates that are updates to the heart emote. You'll find an update to the Skippy emote. So instead of the peanut butter jar, it's a more candy emote, and the hats emote. So the hats emote and the Skippy are for tier 1 subscribers. Everybody gets the heart emote. You're gonna make sure you tune in. Looking forward to possibly using it at work. So Gunny, let's make sure that we understand where Aspire is. It's very much in preview right now. There's a lot of things that it doesn't do. There's a lot of things that it can do. But there are people that are asking for experience and best practices for working with this yet. The team literally just published it 3 weeks ago. So there are no best practices yet. We're still figuring this out. We're trying to understand the scope of this thing and test and feel it out. And then we'll have, yes, these things were successful, these things were not, to be able to make those types of recommendations. So to recommend somebody use it for a production application, I'm not going to recommend it for a production application yet, because it's still very much a preview. But for something that you're testing, you want to try out, you want to see, does this fit into your workflow? Sure, absolutely. Set up a test work stream, a branch to go in and tinker with that and see how it works with your applications. Nothing wrong with that. And if it does fit in and it does work well, you certainly have the option to adopt that and roll it out. So you've read the current documentation to where it's in preview. Awesome. I always got to make sure that I prefix with that, because there are people who will hear us talking about a .NET framework and immediately assume full support and this is all that's being built. No. So looking at doing some proof of concepts. There you go. Gunny, that's a great way to plan for it. Great way to plan for it. Yep. I like it. Do some proof of concepts. Does this work? Does this fit into our workflow? What do we need? Because the team's listening to the feedback now, right? The .NET Aspire team is actively responding and working through issues and taking contributions. So now's a good time to do that type of proof of concept that Gunny is recommending right here. They're going through. Provide that feedback, and you might get those features built for you. Yeah, how you doing there, Deflux? So you did the same with Dapper. There you go. So lots of good things this week that happened at Dev Intersection. So I gave a bunch of sessions, but I also talked to some of the other speakers, and I had a very good conversation with Brock Allen. Brock works on the Identity Server package, Duende Identity Server, and I shared with him some information about TagsApp, and he pointed out this issue that we were having, and Johan was right. We hit the nail on the head with this one. In between session restarts, because TagsApp runs inside of a container right now, we're going to hit some data protection issues where it's gonna knock us offline. So as ASP.NET Core generates cookies to encrypt and provide protection for the ticket, the authenticated ticket that is delivered in the HTTP cookies. Come on now, where is it? It's the same thing in both of these documents. Come here, you. Here it is. It saves that token to disk that it's using to encrypt with. Azure does some magic to move that around as necessary so that if you have app service running, it uses the same certificate across the board. And there's information in here about how Azure does some of that. Key lifetime and information about how it runs, right? And if it is on a system, it actually persists it by default to a data protection keys folder. And that's fine. That does its thing. Okay, sure. But since we're running inside of a container, right? Keys should be persisted in a folder that's a Docker volume or in an external provider like Azure Key Vault, Redis, some other location, so that as other containers are started, it knows how to point and go get that certificate, that key, and reconfigure cookie encryption appropriately so that it stays exactly the same. Otherwise, if that key is regenerated, every cookie is invalidated. GitHub Actions. There's GitHub Actions for Aspire? I hadn't seen those yet. I have my caps lock pressed. Where? You would try and figure out how to use them. Okay. The way that I would consider using GitHub Actions with Aspire would be to basically start up the Azure the AZD tool at the command line in the middle of a .NET action and call it directly. That's where I would go right now. I fully expect there to be GitHub Actions, Azure DevOps capabilities for publishing with Aspire coming soon. Am I at Dev Intersection or is it over already? So today is the final day of Dev Intersection. And I left yesterday. So I had 2 pre-conference workshops, 3 sessions on day 1, and left for home yesterday after a bunch of meetings with Microsoft colleagues. So, all right. What? All right. I feel like... Did I try this year's Advent of Code? Asks Evox. No. So here's the deal, right? I see Advent of Code for streamers as kind of like canned content for folks to kind of glom onto, and hey, here's some content for you to write if you'd like. I'll let other folks generate and walk through that because everybody is doing that, and quite frankly, offline even no. I have other I have other interesting puzzles and challenges to solve that actually turn into working applications. So I do take a pass on it. Yeah, thank you, Stream Elements. So good of you to finally recognize, hey, Fritz is streaming. Yeah, I know, I am. So yeah, I do not. However, I will tell you that I will be joining as a guest on another stream next week. I'll have more details when I know exactly what day it is. But I will be a guest on a stream next week where we will be doing Advent of Code, talking through and solving some of those. So I don't have a problem with it. I'm not. It's something that I see as puzzles and content that other folks can do. We've got some really cool stuff to do here. So, all right, moving on. So I think we can integrate and fix this issue very quickly. So Brock from the Identity Server team, Brock Allen, said, yes, that's exactly the problem you're having. Apply that patch, and you'll be good to go. You're off and running. So let's do that. Let's put this fix in. So I'm going to check out the main branch over here. Make sure I have the latest. Cool. And let's call this fix data protection. Right? And this is one of those things that I completely forgot about. It used to be in the ASP.NET templates. So we'll go put it back in there. It's one of those things that experienced developers look at in the ASP.NET Core templates and they're not fond of, because it does the templates do a bit of magic. The automatic configuration that they're not. They would rather see all of that code spelled out for them. And I think that might be an interesting analyzer and fixer to make available for ASP.NET Core. What are you doing, Visual Studio? Here we go. We'll get back into some of these things. Let's go. But I think that could be a very interesting analyzer fixer to add to ASP.NET Core. So I can go into Program. Right, so let me find the website. Let me find, there's Program. Right, and be able to click on Create Builder here and do some sort of a control dot gesture and have a suggestion here that says, right, generate call to show all of the default configuration, and have it create another file that has all of that configuration laid out for you. So, should .NET have some interactive CLI where you could build your own template through steps? So that's a question that the .NET team has literally dealt with for more than a decade now. And I see featured chat is falling asleep on me here. So there were NPM templates that were available that folks could use to generate. It wasn't NPM. It was shoot, what was it? Back in the day, there were a series of templates that you could use to generate ASP.NET Core applications. There is a declared templating language and standard for .NET, and it's not easy to work with. There just isn't demand for it. No, not T4. No. It's more complex than T4. And we built with those templates when we were working on the Stream Deck toolkit. You put files into specific folder locations and package them as a NuGet package. And then that template can be installed and used from the .NET CLI. Are there tools that could be built to help generate and manage and assemble those templates? For sure. I think they'd be very welcomed by the community, by the .NET community. It's not something that Microsoft is currently building, but I bet if somebody went down into that, got something working that was compelling as a command line tool to help generate and manage templates, you'd hear from some folks on the .NET team that'd be interested in collaborating, lifting up, and making part of the overall toolkit. I think that's something that's very interesting. But like I said, there's a standard defined. It's just hard to work with. Okay, so for this capability to do the data protection, what we can do, and where I want to kind of attach to, is we can add data protection persist keys to DB context and specify the database context that we want to persist and use. So I think we want to attach that, and the database context, that's entity framework we're using, needs to implement data protection key context. So let's just go over here, and I'm going to find, here it is, security context. Ta-da! So let's implement that interface, and we need to install that package. Sure. And implement the interface. There it is. So it adds another data set here that we can work with, which is just another table. Hey, Cincy Mac. You have some templates for an SDK you published. Didn't find it too hard to do. It's not hard to manage a template. It's tedious. A command line tool that would help to generate format, do some of that initial walkthrough, that to give you an initial configuration and config files would be good at providing that initial hand holding for developers that don't know they can do that. So okay, data protection settings. So I have that available. So what I can do is where this is referenced and set up in here, right? So we call, right, add security context here. Goes and figures out, well, which configuration should we use for that? Use SQLite, use Postgres at this point, and this is going to get significantly improved here. Yeah, poor documentation is exactly it. There's documentation. It's not great. But to provide a tool, and like you're saying, a wizard, to help with that would go a long way. So I think after we call this here, add data protection. Hello, Marcus.
Voice Coder just resubscribed for 23 months.
Oh, look at that. Thank you so much. 23 months with us, and I'll make another contribution to the American Cancer Society. Thank you so much for that support. I've got a line here. We need to put a using statement out there. That should be it. Right, and that should do the scaffolding for me automatically to make sure that that's available. I don't think, do I have that container running right now? Do I have it? Click the right buttons here, Fritz. It's not running right now. There we go. 1 second. Just keeping an eye on things. Yeah, we got about an hour. All right. We're good. Okay. So if I run this right now, it should start up and it should persist into my little Postgres database. And write that key in there for my local machine. Oh my gosh, Cinzy Mac.
Cinzy Mac just resubscribed for 5 months.
Thank you so much. 5 months with us, and I'll make another donation to the American Cancer Society. What am I missing here? Yeah, this is the key management stuff. Telling me... What? I should have the settings. Yeah. So, yeah, it's like it didn't scaffold it when it was looking for this. I think I need to do an update database. This is another one of those things that we have fixed in the patch. The next patch that's coming. Yeah, update database. That one. I don't think that's not the right one. That's not the right one. Yeah, I was kind of expecting that. If I did... Well, I need to add the migration, don't I? Right? That's not for this context. .NET EF migrations add the context is tags app. It's that security one. This one. Security context. And the startup project is source tags app web. Let's see how that goes. That should work. Come on now. Come on now. Right, all of this I want to go away with our new configuration. Well, that's not going to work. Yeah, look at this. File is locked by Visual Studio.
Brutals, we just resubscribed for 4 months. C# party.
Hello! Thank you so much, Brutal Swede. 4 months with us. Hope you're doing well. Hang on. I don't think I need to provide source because I'm in that folder now. You've been getting that a lot more in .NET 8. Yeah, I agree. Oh, thank you. Add data protection keys. There we go. So I should be able to now say database update. Yeah, it's because it ran it twice. If exists, select exists. Yeah, I think we're going to be okay. Object reference not set. Yeah, I don't think you're going to get in there. No. It didn't actually update the database. So do that again. Well, it's updating SQLite. I don't want it updating SQLite. I want it updating... Okay, Copilot, fix all my warnings. That would be nice, Blazer Mr. Magoo. That would be a great Copilot fix. I mean... Right, it's .NET EF database update context tags app web data security context. That's the same command. It's going to give me the same error. Where it's trying to work with the SQLite database and choking. Say SQLite. And for this application, I'm okay with. So I just deleted the SQLite database. So there we go. So this should work now. You're getting some well-detailed commit messages now with the GitHub Copilot? Yeah. And nope, that still doesn't work. Yeah, it didn't apply it to the Postgres database. Well, there's your problem right there. Right? And this is one of those things that I'm fixing. We're getting rid of this. Yeah. So now if I run that, it should scaffold and update the Postgres database. Nope, still doesn't like it. You stink. Do that again. Here at the command line with fix. ASP.NET roles already exist. I hate this. I hate how it does this and it gets wrapped up. And it's trying to update the exact same database again. Go into Data Studio. Take a look. I should get these two. Yep. What do we got? No. No. It didn't write the table. And even then, I think we can delete this. Is it time to kind of where you learned about what? No, I haven't tried that. There's an update to VS Code? I mean, I have all the update. I have Copilot, but... Hey, Phil. Hello. There's initialized security right there. So when this starts up, it says, hey, go find... First DB is not in there. So, yeah. I could delete my user stuff here and have it rebuild. Like, I mean, it's just me here locally, right? So, like, I can delete that pretty comfortably. Well, that stinks. Like, I will do this. The laziest way possible. right? Like, let's get rid of that stuff. Try this again. This one. Try and update that now.
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Table settings already exist. Yeah, but it should have updated and done my other things here. Right? I don't see the security. Hello, Mods!
Moz 2005 just resubscribed for 67 months. How is your day going?
67.
Skippy C sharp ninja C sharp hat C sharp do the thing C sharp and then.
Thank you so much. Yeah, what do you think of the new emotes there? Thank you so much for that. 67 months with us, and I'll make another donation to the American Cancer Society. Tier 3. Thank you, Mods. Hope you're having a fantastic December. We're going to have a lot of fun here the rest of the month writing some code together. Shenanigans, both your middle and first name. Just keeping a peek over on YouTube in case there's any chats over there we miss. I don't want to lose this. You know? And I can't just rename here, right? I can't F2 rename. But I guess it's all right. I mean, I don't have that stuff anymore. So, the day's going well. Yeah, I'm just going to drop it. Like, and we'll rebuild it. Right, that user is gone. So, no migrations were applied. Yes, they were. That was up here. There's settings. There's data protection keys. And I should get a key generated and written in there when this runs. I could have created the table myself. Nope, that didn't work either. What do we got? Like, did it write a key? Nope. There's your problem right there. Yeah, what are my options? My application discriminator is going to be TagZap. What other options do I have? No. So that, restart that. Right, I want to have the data context so that in the future I can just wire up and point to it. Nope. Doesn't work, that's why. And it's the key management. And it did not write a value. All right, so what are we doing wrong here? What are we missing? So that's key vault, not file system, DB context. For more information, see data protection key. Yeah? This tells me nothing. Hey, Eric. Hello. You know, Landon, don't go there. I am not rolling my own cryptography surface. No. Do we have to set application name? Is that something we're missing here? There's the various persist, protect with, set application name. From days, 90. I think 90 is the default, but I'm going to force it because I can. Yes, restart. No, you're Thindall. Nope, still doesn't work, and it probably still didn't write the key. Okay.
Houston, we have a problem.
So why isn't it writing it? ASP.NET Core add data protection does not write a key. It should have written a key. Yeah. Not creating a key. Persist to file system, protect with blah, blah, blah. You're trying to store your key somewhere in a folder path you are cobbling together that uses an environment. IIS does not set up your app pool accounts with environment variables. Set profile environment true. Internally sets the application discriminator. So I don't need to do that also. No, I do want it created. No. 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 Persisting keys when hosting in a Docker container. Heading up to the Angstroms tomorrow. Oh, have fun with that. The notification. Oh, the go live notification. Yeah, I didn't change it. Well, yeah, this... Why isn't it? Like, do I need to do this first? Like, no, I need to do that after I configure my security context. Do they have an example project? I didn't see one, no. Nope. And is not writing keys. Get and store tokens. It's like it's not generating the token. Add data protection. With an eye protection provider. Yeah, this is like creating your own data protector. Hey, Dukasoft. Yeah. Add data protection, set application name. Persist keys to. Protect keys with. So, persist keys to Stack Exchange Redis. Sure. Add key management options. If that's what this is. Like, why isn't that a default? Nope. And it is not writing those keys. Well, here we go. It's trying to get all elements. No. And it's not in any of my code here, which tells me this is a bug. Because when it gets all the way down, it's trying to protect, and it doesn't have a key. It doesn't have a key because it wasn't able to read the key. It didn't read the key because it didn't generate a key to save. And it never saved it for some reason. Let's go over to security context. Let's put a break on that. See if we can see where it starts working with it. Look at the call stack for that, John. Yeah, external code my foot. And there it is trying to get it again, but let's... So it's looking at the migrations. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Come here. So it is looking at the Postgres database. Yeah. Walk it back, Hammer. Where? Come on, show me where it inherits. From DB context, and it... Yeah, where's the base class on this? I must be skipping right past it. Right there. Identity user context. DB context. Database facade. What do we got? What's null is it's not generating the key. Right? It doesn't write any key to the database, so when it goes to read it, there's nothing there. Right, looking at the errors being reported here. So it's trying to query from the database to get the key, and there's nothing. We've seen there's nothing there. So why doesn't it generate the key? If I change that to false, how do I generate the key? System will not generate new keys automatically. The key ring must contain at least one active non-revoked key. The default value is true. So it should be creating and protecting, but it's not. No. And if we look at the queries, it's doing all the migrations. An error occurred while reading the key ring. So something's missing here. Data Protection Entity Framework Core. Those are texts. Right, this is attempting to do get all elements. Maybe add persist keys to DB context at the end, suggest Ricky. Well, I hear you. Okay, maybe that's supposed to be maybe it should be last. We can, nothing wrong with trying to move it around. Okay. If that solves this. No. No. I've got to say this is a bug. Because it's not, it's going to read it and it's not getting data. And it's not, because it errors out here, since it didn't find anything. Is there an enable automatic? Yes. And it's on by default. Right. Auto generate keys is set to true by default. Let's go find this source code. Okay, looks like ASP.NET Core, add data protection with entity framework is broken and doesn't generate keys. I do enjoy spelunking in the .NET source code live on stream. Let's see what we find. ASP.NET Core. Source. We're looking for data protection. Let's see if it's over here. So this was, okay, so it was adding a singleton with the configuration options. Services, logger factory. XML repository is new. Entity framework, core XML repository. Give me that thing. Entity framework, core XML repository. There it is. Hi. All right, got 15 minutes till my next call. Okay. Get all elements. Get all elements. Core to list. Read only. Didn't even get there. I'm in get all keys. Okay. That's not in here. Can you see the DB context? Sure, Mots. Yep, so I reference, it's called security context here. I'll F12 into it. And I am implementing the iData protection key context that has data protection keys. It would be... So it wouldn't, it would not compile if it did not implement that. Add setter? Stand by. You missed to add a set property on data protection keys? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? If that solves this, that interface is broken. Okay. So okay. Several things then. This is something I've seen with Entity Framework in .NET 8. The ID column does not auto-increment. Which in turn breaks code everywhere. That it does not auto-increment. Hey friends, if the correct configuration for the iData protection key context should have the set. How you doing there, Grizzly
Just
Guru?
Subscribed for 13 months.
If this should have the set accessor provided as well, can we add that to the interface so that everyone gets this implementation correctly configured in their entity framework context? I do have access to reopen it, but I'm not going to do that. Thank you so much, Grizzly Guru. Yeah, I'll make a contribution to the American Cancer Society. Thank you so much. 13 months with us. That is phenomenal. Is auto increment set on the database column? You don't have to. By convention in entity framework. Data protection key is not my type. ID is automatically picked up and handled. So if we say builder, no. Close, but no. Has key? Property names and key expression. Right, so I could say, right, d.id. It is not, if we do a script as create, it is not set to auto increment, it's just set as an integer. Right? So it was not created as an identity. However, the syntax yeah. Give me my other DB context, and I forget what it's called. No, it's that one. The content here is just marked as ID, and it generated that for me automatically. The behavior changed, and it's not just Postgres that it changed on. Entity framework core auto increment. Has default value computed. By convention, non-composite primary keys of type short, int, long, or GUID are set up to have values generated if a value isn't provided by your application. This is wrong now in .NET 8. This broke. Right? Yeah. And it's not my type, so I can't decorate it. Entity, property. And even then, hang on. Yeah, it's right there. It's the constraint is set. So I don't need to say has key. Let me select it. No. Use identity column. Like, do I need to explicitly set that? I can't decorate the ID because it's not my type. This is inside of a CLR class. So auto increment data protection keys. I'm in the wrong folder. Fortunately, I have the product team right here. Hey friends. When did Entity Framework Core stop generating auto identity columns for properties named ID? I haven't seen it working with .NET 8, and it's breaking in a few places. Wow, look at all that stuff. Go to me. Let's kind of document and go along here. Looks like Entity Framework Core is not auto-generating IDs for my tokens. Let's add some manual configuration for that. Doesn't make me happy that I have to do that. There we go. So did we get a little bit of code to do that now? Migration. There we go. Auto increment data protection keys. ID settings, text, value, XML. ID, integer, nullable, integer. Identity by default column. Okay. So let's go do our database update. I don't need to provide that because I'm in the right folder this time. Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. I've actually got some folks from the team. The first item, the table requested by the iData protection key context is not marked with set accessor by default. So it will never write keys with the default interface provided. Second, the F-core is not generating identity columns. And I do need to go. I have a call to get to. Here's the migration generated for the data protection keys interface. And I will share this. And it's important to me that you hear that I am ooh, wait a sec. That's not the right one. Hang on. Ooh. I'm gonna have to come back to this. Let me get back. I do need to run for a meeting. I'm going to dig into this further and figure this out. Let me get back to you later on this. I will be streaming tomorrow. All right. So let's see who else is streaming out there on the big Twitch TV network. Yeah, I'm being called into a meeting. Stand by. And you know what? Let me get you into the .NET Maui community stand-up over on the Visual Studio channel. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to talk through this. I'm going to get this figured out and get it connected. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have an excellent rest of your day. I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.